Welcome to Madison Square Garden and the 1970 heavyweight bout between Muhammad Ali and Oscar Bonavena. Let's go ringside for the introduction of the fighters here on ESPN Classic.
Assigned by the New York State Athletic Commission. The judges, Joe Eppie and Jack Gordon. The timekeeper, Fred Abatello. Counting for the knockdowns, referee Zach Clayton. Referee for the main event, Mark Kahn.
Mark Kahn, perhaps the most veteran referee in point of service assigned by the New York State Athletic Commission. Very few people have quarreled in the past with Kahn as a referee. He has a disposition, by the way, to let a fight go on. He's not quick to stop a fight when a fighter is damaged. Now let's see when the two come up for the ring instructions from the referee, if they talk. Because today, before the weigh-in, Ed Dooley, the chairman of the New York State Athletic Commission, said any reprehensible talk, any invective, any abuse, $5,000 fine against each fighter.
I found out that I could take a punch, as they say I didn't.
All right, Muhammad, I want you to look at that monitor right down there. We're going to rerun this knockout round.
I've been to the boxing school.
All right, there it was. We may get it again in slow motion.
Yank Durham down there agitating Joe Frazier.
Yank Durham is down there, but
he's scared.
Watch this in slow motion,
I'm going to
Muhammad.
say to Joe out there, stay in shape, Joe. Look like we're going to settle this whole heavyweight mess. I'll be in better shape when I meet Joe. I needed this workout.
You think you'll be faster against Joe?
Joe was a little too frightened to talk about me after this fight, but I'll talk about him.
All right, now let's take a look at the second knockdown in slow motion, Muhammad. It'll be coming up in just a second. All right, you hold this mic. You hold this mic right here. Now you call that round while I talk to Joe Frazier on the telephone. I got Joe right here on
Tell Joe, here's a man, he's knocking out these light heavyweights. Tell Joe it's a good heavyweight knockout here.
Hello, Joe.
Say hello to Salama Hassan out there in Detroit. Good friend of mine.
Wait a minute.
Hello to Major Coxon out there in Philadelphia.
What do you think of what Muhammad is saying on television? As we watch the third knockdown, he says that you're afraid of him, that he knocked out Bonavena and you couldn't. What do you say?
Joe Frazier's on the telephone and Howard Cosell's agitating as usual.
Well, the phone, of course, is not on the air, Muhammad, and Joe says he's more than ready for you. Anytime you fellas fight, he says he's going to go after you and put you away, even though Bonavena couldn't.
Tell him if he do, he's a good one, so look like we don't have to talk no more.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, Joe. I'm going to put Muhammad on. Now on the telephone, you repeat what Joe says to you.
How you doing, Joe? You're not frightened of me, are you?
What's he saying, Muhammad?
Howard Cosell is agitating as usual. I think you'd improved yourself as a professional fighter. I'd improved myself, so I'll get me a couple of days rest. And since we can't get a loan, we just gonna have to get it on.
What is Joe saying? Our viewers can't hear.
I haven't heard Joe. Joe said he's ready to get it on, and if everybody can agree to the deals, then we will settle all this talk. We will find out once and for all who's the real champion of the whole world. No homemade champ, no ink pen champion, but the fighting champion.
Okay.
So they took my title once, gave it to Ernie Terrell, I took it back. They took it again, so it looked like I have to fight for the title 3 times without losing it. If I have to do that, I'm gonna still keep it. Thank you.
Okay, so long, Joe. I'm sorry you couldn't hear Joe Frazier. Don't go away. Now here's the knockout. Muhammad, last time the knockout on isolated camera. Call it, then we'll let you go.
Well, here comes a left hook. I knew he was a little tired. I was a little tired. But mainly I was concentrating. This is where a good boxer comes in handy.
He was the toughest you ever fought, wasn't he?
Up until now. I've been off so long and training hard.
Ringo's right here. He's coming in. Hammer right.
I think I tagged him.
Here comes Ringo, by the way. Ringo's coming over to congratulate you. Keep looking at the monitor.
I like to say,
Hello, Ringo. Good fight.
I like to say to Ringo,
Good
he's a
fight.
nice fella.
Even as we watch.
I want to say the things he said about me and I said about him was only to build a fight because it is a dying sport. And I want to thank him. He's a gentleman.
I'm sorry because I tell you, Chicky, you're better champion.
No, thank you.
You know what he said?
I like you. Just
I
talk.
tell you,
Just talk.
I told Chicky because you're nervous. That's all.
Just talk.
Fight it, fight it. Finish, fight it. You champion. I understand what I'm saying.
Thank you.
I hope you can understand what Ringo is
I had a
saying.
nice time.
He
Thank you.
said, I'm sorry I called you chicken. You are a great
And I
champion.
want to say to
And
him,
you can
thank
see
you.
the scene
and I
now.
want to say he's my roughest fight today.
Okay,
You champion.
that does it.
I'm sorry.
Joe Frazier, Oscar said I'm champion, so watch yourself.
You
Watch
don't
it,
have
watch
to.
it.
You don't
Don't
have to
break it.
apologize.
Watch it. You win, you Frazier, because you're better. You boxing very well. Frazier,
Ringo is saying
go.
Ali will
Maybe
beat
you win
Frazier,
like Frazier.
but that's going to
Because
have
you
to
will
be
beat-
proved in
you
the
beat
ring.
Frazier.
Thank you.
Because I'm more strong than Frazier.
Thank you.
You understand?
Thank you. I love you, Oscar.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
He's okay. He's
All right, now one last look at the isolated camera in the midst of this chaos and bedlam. Muhammad,
He's okay.
Muhammad, look down at that monitor. Call that now.
Left hook, I think, here.
Call that now.
Bonavena's telling people I whoop Frazier because he's stronger than Frazier. Bonavena said I whoop Joe Frazier because he's stronger than Joe Frazier. And he is
I'm
right.
more strong than Frazier.
Thank you. Thank you, Oscar.
All right, we're in the midst of bedlam, even as we watch the knockout again on isolated camera. You have seen the scene for yourselves. The crowd trying to pour up into this ring. Oscar going down there. This will be our final look at this knockout.
Thank you.
All right.
Ringo
You
is-
champion.
Thank you.
Watch this, Ringo. There you are down. And that's Muhammad
Oscar's my
left. That
toughest
was the
fighter. I've
second
never had a fight
knockdown.
that I took tough. Oscar's a good fighter. I couldn't hit him with my left jab hardly.
And now we come to the end. There it is, the final left hook. And that was the knockdown.
I have one
Isolated
thing to say, and I
camera.
gotta go. Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier.
Okay.
Joe Frazier. She's beaten Joe Frazier.
All right.
Cassius Clay, beat it, Joe Frazier. Cassius Clay, beat it. He's beaten Frazier.
Ringo, as you can see, is screaming at the fans that Ali will beat Frazier. That
Sure.
remains for another day. Ringo, you fought a great fight.
Too much.
My congratulations to you, even though you lost.
Yes. Cassius
Now,
Clay,
ladies and gentlemen.
beat Frazier. Listen.
This is a goodbye from Madison Square Garden. On the ropes of the ring, at almost the very point where Muhammad Ali knocked out Oscar Ringo Bonavena in a little more than 2 minutes of the 15th and final round. The executive producer of tonight's closed-circuit telecast of the Muhammad Ali-Oscar Bonavena fight was Lauren Cassina. Our producer was Jim Spence. And our director here at Madison Square Garden was Andy Sedaris. This is Howard Cosell for Wendell Smith, Yank Durham, and